The call came at 2:17 a.m. A breath on the line. Not a voice, not words, just breath, shallow, hurried, like someone was trying to swallow their guilt before it escaped their throat. I remember lying there in the dark, watching the shadows on the ceiling tremble with each vibration of my phone. My mind was too sharp to be fooled by silence. Silence is just another form of truth, one people are too afraid to speak. I didn't say hello. I didn't need to. People reveal themselves in absence more than presence. The line disconnected. I stared at the screen, the unknown number lingering like a fingerprint pressed against my skull. Something felt shifted, misaligned, as if a piece of my life had already fallen out of place before I even reached out to catch it. I turned my head. She slept beside me, or pretended to. Her back to me, her breathing too measured, too aware. A performance. I watched her shoulder rise and fall, and wondered how long she had been rehearsing. The room was cold, but my thoughts were colder. That call wasn't the beginning. It was the echo of something that had started long before, and I felt the first quiet fracture open inside me. I lost my job the next afternoon. My boss, Mark, barely looked me in the eye when he handed me the severance envelope. His smile was tight, uncomfortable, the kind people wear when they're protecting someone else, not you. He said it was performance alignment. I said nothing. Silence unsettled him more than protest ever could. When I walked out of the building, the world felt strangely still, like someone had paused the scene just long enough for me to realize I'd never been the one holding the remote. When I told her, she hugged me too quickly, too lightly. Her arms barely touched me. "I'm sure something better will come," she said. But her eyes slid sideways, almost reflexively, as if checking a door only she knew was open. That sideways glance stayed with me. A week later, the deal came. $15 million wired into accounts that had been starving yesterday. Strategic investment. Years of quiet groundwork finally finding oxygen. I should have been relieved. Instead, I felt nothing. When I walked into the house that night, the air changed, thickened, like the walls themselves were holding their breath. Then I heard it, a muffled laugh, a low, familiar voice. I opened the bedroom door and found her tangled beneath my old boss, Mark. His face went white first. Hers followed. They scrambled for sheets, excuses, decency. I walked out before either could speak. Not out of shock, no. Shock is loud, messy, frantic. What I felt was quiet. Too quiet. Truth doesn't scream when it arrives. It whispers. They pretended it was a mistake, a moment, a lapse. I pretended to believe them. It was almost entertaining, watching them build lies like fragile towers, each word stacked on another, trembling under their own weight. People never realize how loud they sound when they're trying to appear innocent. While they talked, I observed. While they begged, I noted. While they cried, I calculated. I didn't confront them again. Instead, I began collecting the truth. Phone records, location histories, bank transfers, deleted messages resurrected through cloud backups they forgot existed. Patterns emerged, quiet, damning lines drawn between two people who believed secrecy was the same as intelligence. It wasn't. I watched her behavior shift in small ways. She clung to her phone more. She showered immediately after coming home. She avoided eye contact when she thought I was looking. Mark sent me an email one night. Thinly veiled pity, dripping with false kindness. He wanted to discuss opportunities, as if offering me a new chain to replace the one he broke. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Every night I lay beside her, listening to the way she breathed when she thought I was asleep. Shaky, uneven. Guilt has a rhythm, and once you learn it, you can hear it in everything. The more evidence I gathered, the calmer I became. Peace is rarely born from forgiveness. Sometimes it's born from clarity. And I was becoming very, very clear. The final proof arrived on a Thursday, DNA results. I hadn't suspected at first, but the timeline of their affair stretched back farther than they admitted, farther than their lies could cover. There were whispers in the data, indicators, percentages that didn't align. I stared at the report for a long time. Not in devastation, those emotions had burned out days ago. Now there was only understanding. When she walked into the kitchen, she saw the envelope on the table. Her face tightened, then cracked. "What is that?" I slid the papers toward her. Slowly, almost gently. She skimmed the first page, then the second. The color drained from her face so fast I could almost hear it leaving. My God, this can't." I remained still, untouched, unmoved. "Say it," I whispered. She shook her head violently. "Please, it's wrong. It has to be wrong. This is insane." But we both knew it wasn't wrong. Her affair with Mark went back years, long enough that even biology had its questions. She collapsed into a chair, hands shaking. I didn't touch her. I didn't raise my voice. Silence was enough to tear her apart. I invited Mark over the next evening. He walked in confidently, too confidently. Betrayers always believe they're smarter than the damage they cause. When he saw the documents on the table, his facade cracked like thin ice. "Oh my God," he whispered, voice catching. He didn't finish. He didn't need to. Truth finishes itself. She stood behind him, trembling, eyes swollen from hours of failing to rewrite reality. I watched them unravel, their guilt ricocheting between them like static. Then I executed the simplest revenge. "I'm leaving the country tomorrow," I said calmly. "The deal went through. 15 million. I'm moving everything, assets, accounts, the house. You two can figure out the ruins." Her knees buckled. Mark swallowed hard. No shouting, no threats, no vengeance spoken aloud. Just a door opening to a future where I no longer carried their weight. That was enough. I slept well that night. Not because I won. This wasn't victory. This was release. They had built a life of secrets and called it love. I had built a life of silence and called it survival. Now both were ending. In the morning, I packed one suitcase, left the keys on the counter, walked past the bedroom door where they whispered to each other in the ruins they created. Neither followed me. They couldn't. Some truths are too heavy to chase. When I stepped outside, the sun felt unfamiliar, like something I hadn't earned yet, but I would. And as I closed the door behind me, I felt the final thread snap clean. Sometimes revenge is nothing more than walking away while they drown in the life they tried to bury you in. I didn't look back. I never will. And that was the first moment I felt free.